Your best expression of who you are is your higher self.
Yes.
If somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, ask yourself why. Why you don't know the answer? It is going to make you say, well, let me go find an answer.
This is beautiful.
And after you go through life of people asking you questions that you don't know the answer to, and you go seek the people who had the answer in order to understand the answer, that's called looking at it in stages and degrees. You're building yourself up, using other people's curiosity as fuel for your growth. When you get to a certain level and you see stuff that other people didn't see because they was asking you and you didn't have the answer. But now that you done went to find all of the answers that they was asking you, put it all together. When you put it all together, you give it back to the people.
And are you acting like you are God when you do that, right? You're a God when you acting that way, when you do those acts?
You're the vessel for God. You are the hands. You are the right hand. You're the tool that God used to help others because you're in your highest form.
I love it.
One of the biggest misconceptions is being misused. People will be like, oh, they was using me. Be thankful that you was useful.
Oh, wow. What about the ones who want to use you up?
That's misusing you.
Okay.
They using, if you use somebody out of context or purpose, that's misusing them.
Yes.
But if they're useful and they willing to be useful, use them. But respect what you use because you might need it again.
That part.
Because it was useful.
And what if it's because there's reciprocity going on, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But if you offended for somebody using you, then you mad because you was useful. You gonna try to be useless.
Oh, wow. That's good. I like that. Yeah. You should be glad that you're useful.
Yeah. But just because you agreed to let somebody use you, you shouldn't feel no way about it. Because you should know where to draw the line. You ain't got to be a doormat. That thing that I will not do, I will not do. And I don't care how many times you ask me, my answer's still going to be no.
Oh, wait, please, Chief Hayes.
No is a superpower.
Chief Hayes, I say this and I want you to talk to us about submission. I'm an advocate for submission, but then people misunderstand. I tell the ladies, the sisters, I say, you're not a toilet, you're not a doormat, and you're not a buffet. Because it's not going to be a buffet, it's going to be a smorgasbord, right? You bring something, a potluck. So talk to us about submission. Does submission mean, really, I want you to talk to the other brothers.
Submission
to be a doormat?
I don't want no woman that's a doormat. I want my woman to be able to say, no, that don't make sense. Because if we do it that way, this is what's going to happen.
Sakina, you heard that?
Her sitting down because I told her to do it, talking about, yep, and we ride off a cliff. Because I thought I knew the map. And she got the map in her hand.
Oh, my God.
Listen, teamwork make the dream work.
Talk.
Don't misunderstand submission, meaning I agree with your plan. I'm going to follow the instructions that's going to help you to capitalize on the plan. The problem is, don't nobody got no damn plan and want somebody to bow down to their orders.
Okay.
And strong-willed people is going to rebel. That's nature. You can't take it out of nature. And a lot of women, after they've been through so much, become so strong-willed. They don't want to hear that bullshit. Excuse my language.
Wow.
They don't want to hear it. Tell me the plan. I don't care how much money you got. Tell me the plan. Where we gonna win at?
Because she's there to be there with him as one. If she sees it, she wants to be able to say, I think I know a better way, right? It's not putting them down, right?
Teamwork. The guy, you can't be intimidated by your woman. Her feminine emotions can tell you stuff about your plan that you can't see with your intellectual logic. Use it to your advantage. Don't be offended by it.
Right.
Ooh.
See, and that's what I like when you said that listen, I have but because sacrifice don't mean something got to get killed, right? And I like when you was going into the sacrifice because when a lot of people are doing just that when they doing it for the vibe, right? They showing they doing the giving somebody something and they doing it with the camera and showing that they doing something for somebody, or they making sure they tell somebody they did something for somebody and all of that. And that's not doing something for somebody, that's doing that for you. You see what
That's when they're looking for personal glory.
Exactly. So when you give somebody the shirt off your back, it's because you're doing it for that person. You see, and so that's that sacrifice, and you're willing to do that just for that. And so
that's when the love don't have conditions attached to it.
And you wasn't looking for nothing in return. So you're dropping all kind of gems.
Yeah.
And
we learn unconditional love from mama.
Yes, and so
she don't have to suckle us.
It's a lot of men out here just in the chat just throwing it, and it was something else you said, because when they say men think logically and women think emotionally, but it was something that you said about just the condition of it all. So the way you said it is, when we think of it that in that aspect, it's just a thought process altogether. And it's not saying that women or men think emotional or logically and women think emotionally. It's just the thought of it. You see what I'm saying?
It's the nature of feminine and the nature of masculine are not the same.
No, it's not. But when you take the initiative, right, and just the condition of the thought itself, right, to say, listen, I have to put her in this perspective and make this best choice. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm a man enough to put her here, and I'm cool with myself. And that is a whole condition.
Mm-hmm.
Condition. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why I say they miseducate us about relationship roles.
You see,
because if a man learned how to capitalize on the feminine aspect of his woman, he can't be stopped. He can literally walk on water at that point.
Yes. And so we as women need to appreciate, and men, you honor that, and that's what makes it work. And so that is teamwork and making dreams working. You see what I'm saying? So for us to accept the plan and be part of a plan, right?
And a lot of the males get miseducated by listening to them guys in the street that ain't never seen a real man before.
Yeah.
They are trying to figure out how to be a real man watching women.
Come on.
Wow.
So you wonder why they so bitchy.
Talk.
They can't control their tongue because the woman ain't supposed to control her tongue. She supposed to speak up when the man falling off the track, or else he won't know.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you got to say that again, please. And then I'm going to drop a bomb. Please say it again, please. Indulge me.
I said that most of them can't control their tongue because they are acting like women who's not supposed to control their tongue, because they supposed to tell the man when he falling off the path.
Nepal has it sounding like World War III in here. Okay. Bombs, y'all. Shout out to the beautiful G. Yes, that was beautiful. So women, why did these holy writings that are Abrahamic say, woman be quiet, woman don't talk?
Okay, so this go back to the 18th dynasty of Egypt and what we call the priest wars. Okay. The war was between the Amun priests and the Aten priests. The Amun priests is the ones who wanted the goddess and the gods to be hidden. They didn't want the mortals to know that the gods walked among them, so they created what's called self-imprisoning spells for the priestesses of the Aten. So they take over the priesthood and they teach them the wrong conjure that puts them in what we call the Amen, the unknown state.
Okay.
The God self cannot show until you give it permission. You go from Amen to Aten. The symbol for Aten is the sun at high noon.
Mm-hmm.
The symbol for Amun is the sun below the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is the dung ball, the pile of shit in the earth.
Ooh,
It has to be dug up by the scarab.
Okay. Okay.
And rolled across the earth. In other words, the scarab represents the feminine Kephra that expels the excrement in order for him to rise and become Aten. It's a blueprint, it's a star map, and it's a fairy tale, all rolled into one.
Wow.
We call it the holy drama.
The what?
The holy drama. The Abrahamic religions is the counter religions out of Babylon. To usurp the priestesses and usurp the sacerdotal seat of the sacred feminine.
Yes. Yes.
And so the origin goes back to 18th dynasty Egyptian priest wars.
Definitely. There's actually, I have an associate, well, he's an acquaintance of mine. His name is Ed Dodge. He has actually done research and everything you're saying, you just are downloading it from. Let me ask you, where are you downloading this from? Are you downloading it from where? Where is this information coming into your, let's say, your consciousness, and then you're giving it to us? How does that work?
So I have a lot of past life memories.
Okay, I knew it. It's Akashic Records, right?
And so I can go to my past life memories. The hard part is I have to find something in this life that can give you as a reference from my past life memory in order for you to be able to see that I know what I'm talking about from my past life memory. So when I give people the book references, and I don't need the book references. The book references are for the people that don't know that this is my memory of past lives telling you that we eternal beings, we don't never die. Life is eternal.
Wow.
And death is just the final stage of life before it transitions into a new stage of life.
That's absolutely correct. And this is my passion, what you're talking about. Okay, so once, I'm just going to share a really quick story. I promise I won't take over because everybody's like, we want to hear it. I do too. But I was listening to a song because when you said something, well, I don't know if you said it like this, but something made me remember a life that I had when I was actually married to someone. He had my baby in his arms, but people were chasing me, setting me on fire in my dream because they were saying I was I guess I put it together. Maybe they thought I was a witch. The way it triggered me is as a song, but the song, every single lyric was a reminder. It reminded me of that life. I'm going to hand it over to you. That's not the only time that happened to me, though.
But what's the name of the song?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. It's Florence and the Machine, Only If for a Night. And it's like when I heard the song, I cried for, I'd say on and off for months. Even now, I listen to that song and I know it's about my life. And the thing I remember was my husband was holding the baby. He didn't even really care. I kind of put it together that maybe he told them, and they were chasing me, setting me on fire in the drink. So what I'm getting at is it triggered that one more life, past life that I remembered was I was on, I guess it's the ziggurat, and I had touched this other girl on the shoulder, like to make her calm down. I don't know if we were being lined up to be sacrificed. So I know I had two of the memories were horrible. But the reason I'm saying that is that also was triggered not by a song, but by something I saw in a movie that had nothing. It was a children's animation movie. I don't really want to bring that one up too much. Why is that happening? Or does that happen to you?
I'm gonna give you one that happened to me. We went to New Orleans when I was, well, not to New Orleans, to Mississippi, for my great grandmother's funeral when I was a little boy. And when I got down there, I had seen so much familiar stuff. And so one day I found myself sitting on the porch by myself. I'm like 7 years old, 6 years old. And I'm trying to figure out why we don't go to Granny house in this life to get the chicken and cornbread from the bowl she keep on the countertop. Because I did it in so many consecutive lifetimes. And I can't understand why we don't live in the house up the road from Big Mama house no more. Because I had done it in so many consecutive lifetimes. So I'm remembering me playing at Big Mama house. I remember being stuck behind the wraparound fences in the South. But I can't figure out for the life of me why we ain't where I'm supposed to be. And it's pissing me off. I'm a shorty. And I want to go back to Big Mama house, but my Big Mama now is in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah. So now I can't tell my mama to take me to Chicago every weekend. But when Big Mama was up the street, I could just walk down to Big Mama house. In this life, I can't just walk to Big Mama house. This telling me this is my first conscious awareness that there's a severely something wrong in our community. I'm not the one that's not supposed to be able to walk up the road to Big Mama house. Something's wrong. Yeah. Big Mama not at home. She not in New Orleans where we got to come down on the raft and get off and walk up on this little island to her front door, and I can't understand why.
Wrong lifetime, right?
Wrong lifetime. This is not matching what I'm supposed to be seeing. That means something is wrong, and I got to help fix it.
Wow.
That's when I was a shorty.
How old were you around, you said?
Maybe 6 or 7.
Wow. This is, you know what? See, this part is so phenomenal. And every single thing you're saying, I absolutely relate. Because it's hard for people who haven't experienced it because they can't get to that level where, you know what they do, sadly, Chief? They say they'll have the experience and they say, oh,
that's just your imagination.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Exactly. I see you back there.
Okay, break the word imagination down.
Go ahead.
Right?
Image.
Yeah. Am I? So the image is the root word to imagination. It's something that you see. It's the image activation in the mind of a previous time. But ain't nothing new under the sun. You connected to all of your relatives that preceded you by direct descent.
And it's still that thought, ain't it?
That's still that thought. The thought is the cause of it all. And if it came from the first spark, you can trace it back only by understanding who you are. Because you are the expression that comes down in a direct line of descent. And all of this is in your mind and in your capability, but the system we were raised in tell us that that's evil to ponder those things because the idle mind is a devil's workshop.
And they call it philosophy, don't they?
Yeah.
Come on in.
That good old monotheistic religious philosophy.
Talk your talk, Rod. Come on.
But it's all designed to usurp a woman. The Jesus story is the story of ISIS. Jesus is ISIS in Greek, but they tell you that it was Hebrew, but before it was Hebrew, it was Greek.
Mm-mm.
Yahshua mean our Savior, and our Savior has always been our mothers. Since we don't want to give your mama credit, we gonna give credit to some old stringy haired hippie. And make you follow the stringy haired hippie, and that's gonna give us control over your expression. And we gonna, as long as you put that fiat in the basket, we know that we got you.
Wow. Go ahead. No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I said, don't let me lock this door till I get $10,000.
Oh, that's what that I think I saw that. Are you talking about that thing that's going around social media when he said lock the door?
I said it was live. He did that on live social media.
That's scary.
Yeah, you know that's kidnapping.
Yes, it's kidnapping, of course.
Unlawful restraint.
They probably said
they say they charged him. I don't know if they charged him for real, but they say they charged him with 4,100 counts of kidnapping.
Oh my gosh, that's
harboring or something.
This is so awesome. I need to do a stream with you about the resurrection and the afterlife and reincarnation. But look who came in. The king of consciousness coming in with the chief of breaking down decoding. Peace, Sonetter. We over here having a great time. I'm so thankful for you.
You're doing a great job, Nepal. I love it.
Listen, it's easy.
Shout out to the elder Sonetter.
Yes, peace to you, Brother Rod Hayes. And of course, Sakina Ra. Y'all have done a great job tonight. I've been tapping in and out. But I would like to hold on. I would like to open up the platform right now so we can get some Q&A in the building in case anybody has some questions.
It's up to the chief.
Brother Rod Hayes, some questions. Are you up for questions, brother?
Oh man, ask for no questions. As long as you don't do too many people at one time, I get a headache.
All right, I got you. There you go. That's how we do this.
All right.
Yeah, let him ask a question and then go out and the next person come ask one.
I agree. I'm with you on the brother was talking about all night tonight. You know, the link is in the chat. Nepal, you got it.
Yes, thank you so much, King. And you know what? We have Metter Williams. And when you said the thing about the headache, we know we chuckled a little, but that's also because you're on a very sensitive wavelength. People, at this point, I don't even care if they laugh. I know you know what I'm talking about. You can get overstimulated with as an empath. Am I on the right path right here?
Yeah, I like when I go to public events, I need a couple of days after to even be able to get out to bed.
Yeah, so I do know that much.
I learned how to do some psychic self-defense stuff to make it where it ain't so bad on me now. But whew.
I will give you a little tip. I know you might have heard of this already. When you come from anything where, especially how you're doing even right now, but it's virtual. However, when you're right around people, like they can actually, they're in your energy fields. Mm-hmm. When you get home, you can do a cold dip, like a cold plunge. Something about cold water. Maybe you could talk to us if you know anything about something about cold water. It resets the energies. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, and I hate being cold too. But I know it sometimes is necessary.
Yeah.
We used to just dive into old Mississippi.
So that will reset you. There's a lot of physiological stuff, but you know how they do the cryogenics also with people who pass away. Why do they know about that? I know Matter wants to come in. Can you talk to me a little bit about cryogenics?
They got that technology from the people that was under the ice in Antarctica. They was telepathically communicating with the scientists because they wanted to throw them out and preserve them alive. And the scientists couldn't figure out. So if you pay attention, cryogenics has been around since the 50s.
Yes.
Admiral Richard Byrd went to Antarctica about the 30s.
Yeah, I was going to say the 30s when he was in Antarctica.
Right. So when they found the people under the ice, they thawed them out. If you go on TikTok and type in Bashinga tribe, the backstory they gave us is they brought these people from Africa and turned them loose in Antarctica and they thrived. That's not the true story. The real story is they thawed them people out from under the ice and they was already used to being cold. So once they thawed them out, it wasn't difficult for them to adapt to conditions of the ice, and they was already at home.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you for sharing that. So, yeah, we there's so much stuff that you said. We've already had the technology that's here now. It's ancient.
It's ancient.
Right.
Yeah. Like when we talk about the med beds and the healing chambers in the ancient writings, they just call them sarcophagi.
Sonetter, he's touching on what I was telling you about the resurrection chambers. When I
that's what we call today healing pod. Wow. Right? The med bed is a sarcophagi. The healing pod is a resurrection chamber. It can actually regenerate lost limbs.
Thank you.
And missing organs inside the body.
They were laughing at me.
It regenerates you from your genetic blueprint. It reads your biology and then it matches to your genetic blueprint. If your genetic blueprint say that you're supposed to have a foot, but there's no foot here, it can stimulate the growth of the foot. That's what keloids is from.
Oh wow!
Because the Atlanteans had used the chamber so long, they learned how to mimic the chamber with the man.
Okay,
but since we forgot, I don't know exactly who's responsible for because I don't have access to the record. It's a Masonic record. It'll tell you the names of the ones that agreed to the ceasefire. It's the secret treaties. I think it's like 72 secret treaties.
Yeah.
And Trump took him to Mar-a-Lago with him. That's why he got raided. But he wasn't there no more.
That makes sense.
That's what they was looking for. They was looking for the secret treaties because Trump had already sent them to the military under heavy guard in order for the contract to be broke.
And that's why he holding the Bible outside of the church upside down.
Right. That means that the Bible spell is broke.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi tore the Bible up on the podium.
Yeah.
Same day. That was the same exact date.
Yeah. And then the Pope announced, he washing his hands. He been did that actually before they told the Bible. So that gets that. Yeah. So the Pope already know the contract.
That's what made the other Pope step down. Because they wouldn't listen to him no more. Right? Because all this stuff was over with. He was telling them. Well, I think that was the Barack Obama letter.
In 2014, we got that documents too in the folders and the Native American chief.
Now everybody think that's a fake letter. Okay, well think it's a fake letter if you want to. It's in the public domain. It's not a secret.
Yeah, everything comes to fruition now.
Yeah. So when they told them they're supposed to dismantle the police and all that stuff, and told the American public what was going on. But what most of us don't know is Barack Obama was following the orders that old man Bush told him, if they take me out or if they get on to us, you have to sell the country. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get any protection overseas. He's supposed to sell it and flee. He got caught. He can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
They was all around him everywhere he get. This is what that whole situation when they was trying to kill him with Petraeus and all of that. Because he had pulled off a full-fledged coup on the people of the land, and he ain't from here.
Go ahead.
He pulled the coup on the pale face. You know, he don't like for no darky to get over on him. But he was trained by the old man Bush.
Yeah.
He was just like his nephew. They got pictures of them together when Barack Obama is a baby, 7, 8 years old or whatever he was.
Yeah. And it was in connection with Lolo Sorrento.
Lolo Santoro was best friends with George Bush.
That's right. That's right.
He kept his secret about Big Buddy being the man.
That's right. Hey, that's my next question, Rod. Because you one day you called me with a clue, and we never did bring this clue back up. I don't think about the wrinkle flags on the coffins. George W. Bush had a wrinkle flag. Colin Powell had a wrinkle flag. Could you go in on the wrinkle flag on the coffin at the funerals? Because
the law of flag, wrinkle flags is for traitors and veterans who defected, like AWOL, high ranked officials, stuff like that, or people that they suspect of corrupt deeds beyond the reach of the military. They give us a dishonorable burial. Right. That's why the flag is wrinkled.
Right.
But the honorable flag is crispy and it's folded neatly. And it's not wrinkled when it's on the coffins. That's called honorable disposal. Arlington Cemetery was just to count the bodies tied to Crispus Attucks through U.S. military channels.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
right. The civilian deaths wasn't even counted.
That's right. That's right. It was a massacre. They said it was a massacre. You think one guy got killed, it was a massacre. That means a whole town got took out. The whole
they never stopped bombing our cities. The most prominent one in recent years is Move. Philadelphia. How you think Rosewood started? How you think Black Wall Street started? The same exact way. Burn down one business and all of the wood and stuff catching on fire. Right. And a lot of the brick buildings had wood trusses on the inside that burned, causing the ceilings to collapse, so they wasn't no more good. Then after they bombed Black Wall Street, didn't nobody want to stay